From the lowest dungeon to the highest peak, I fought him in the power of Morgoth.
What's up, folks? Mike for CMCC Builds here with another 5-minute build where we make a character in, you guessed it,
less than 5 minutes.
A quick note on those 5 minutes, the timer doesn't start until we kick off the build. In other words, the video isn't 5 minutes or less, the build is. That only includes the 1 through 20 level progression, not the spell review at the end of the episode or the intro at the beginning. So all of this right now doesn't count. But you know what does count? You count. Each like and subscribe does so much to help the channel, and if you're so inclined, you may consider joining my Patreon. A special thanks to each and every patron. You guys are the best.
Literally the best thing ever.
Okay, so today we're going to explore the Bladesinger, one of the more popular subclasses in the game because spell swords and gishes are such an iconic archetype. But here's the thing, as many of you know, a wizard, even a Bladesinger, becomes such a powerful spellcaster in the upper tiers of the game that the melee or weapon using portion of the build is far outclassed by the spell slinging half. Because of that, Bladesingers tend to start as gishes and move toward defensively optimized spellcasters at the end of their careers. What I'm going to do for the next 2 5-minute build episodes is show 2 Bladesingers, one that optimizes toward power and one that optimizes toward melee. This spell sword style Bladesinger will use a weapon for the entirety of its career. It won't be as powerful as the other version, but it will do a better job of sticking to the Gish style archetype.
Alright.
Let's get rocking!
For race, there are 5 great options for Bladesingers. Variant Human, Custom Lineage, Harengon, and 2 we're going to use for these builds. On a weapon using Bladesinger, Elves work wonders because of access to Elven Accuracy and Shadowblade's Advantage Engine, while the target is in Dim Light or Darkness. The Elf we're going to take here is the Shatterkai. Dark Vision, Fey Ancestry for advantage on saving throws to avoid or end the charm condition, Keen Senses for proficiency in the most important skill in the game, Perception, Necrotic Resistance, the fantastic Blessing of the Raven Queen for a 30-foot teleport, proficiency bonus times per day, which also gives resistance to all damage, an ability, not a spell, so it can be used even if you have or will use your main action to cast a leveled spell. Finally, that ability that often gets glossed over, Trance, 4-hour long rests and immunity to magical sleep. But perhaps more important to this build's tier 1 and tier 2 play, whenever you finish a trance, you can gain proficiency with 2 weapons or tools. Wizards get garbage weapon proficiencies because, they're wizards, but the Bladesinger gets 1, which is necessary for any Bladesinger build. The problem becomes obvious when you take short sword as your proficiency because you want to use 2 weapon fighting, and you find a game-changing magical rapier. Oops. Or maybe it was the classic Defender Scimitar. Oof, sorry, can't use it. Except now you can gain proficiency with those weapons after a long rest. Eventually that won't matter, but until it doesn't, this ability works wonders toward the equipment flexibility of the build. Using the point buy method for ability scores, take an 8 in strength, 15 in dexterity, 15 in constitution, 15 intelligence, 8 wisdom, and 8 charisma. Use the racial ASI to bump constitution by 1 and intelligence by 2, bringing those to a 16 and 17 respectively. With your background, take whatever you need for your character concept or your table. With starting class, we're not going with wizard.
Dude, you're embarrassing me in front of the wizard.
This will delay spell progression, which has a very real effect on power levels, but this is a Gish and we must melee. To that end, we're going with Artificer here. This allows for a few things. Right off the bat, we get proficiency with medium armor and shields. Bladesingers can't use Blade Song with medium armor or shields, but we ain't blade singing yet, and at level 1, staying alive is paramount. We also get the highly coveted proficiency in constitution saving throws, along with intelligence. For skills, take Arcana so you can make scrolls, investigation because you're smart, and alchemist supplies because you know I love that alchemy.
Yes, science!
Artificers also get spellcasting at level 1, and more importantly, they round up when multiclassing. With the 2 cantrips, take Booming Blade. The spell will be with us for levels 1 through 20, and Guidance, of course. With the 2 level 1 spells, Cure Wounds and Fairy Fire are 2 decent options that wizards don't have access to. A bit of healing and giving your party advantage will make your fellow adventurers love you.
You are amazing.
For equipment, get the best medium armor available, a shield, and rock a rapier using your trance ability for proficiency. At this point, we're heading right for wizard, and because of Artificer's spell slots rounding up, our spell slot progression hasn't missed a beat. Since we want a melee, you need to make a beeline right for level 6. Arcane Recovery is great at level 1, with the Arcane Tradition at 2, we'll of course take Bladesinger, with training in War and Song, take proficiency in the rapier or whatever the best weapon you found so far is. At level 3, pick up Shadowblade. At level 4, take Elven Accuracy and bump Dexterity dexterity to 16. Triple advantage is fantastic when you can get it, and between Fairy Fire and now Shadow Blade, you should be able to get it often. And finally, at character level 7, Wizard 6, extra attack. But this extra attack allows you to cast a cantrip with one of those attacks, even the 1 minute casting of Mending. And this is actually a build where you may want to do that in combat. Back into Artificer for 3 more levels with the infusions. Take either the enhanced weapon or defense, whatever isn't magical at this point. Mind Sharpener if you need help with your concentration saves, or even replicate a magic item to get cast off half plate. Wear half plate when you're not blade singing, and as an action before a combat when you do want to use a blade song, you can quickly take it off. It's a bit of a stretch, but it can work in the right situations. At Artificer 3, character level 9, we're going Battlesmith. This gives some good spells, shield and heroism, proficiency with martial weapons, and the ability to use intelligence instead of dexterity or strength. Oh, and we get a cool Steel Defender to make bonus action attacks and use its reaction to provide disadvantage on an attack against you or an ally. With only 4 levels in Artificer, the Defender will max out at 27 hit points, but you can use an attack to cast the Mending spell to heal 2d6 mid-combat. At Artificer 4, with the ASI feat, take Fey Touched Intelligence to bump that to an 18. Free casting is a Misty Step, and with the bonus spell, you gotta go with Silvery Barbs. Back into Wizard all the way to level 18, Wizard 14. At Wizard 8, take the Mobile feat, attack twice, once with Booming Blade, and get the hell out of dodge so the enemy has to stand still, or take 3d8 and eventually 4d8 automatic damage. Song of Defense at 10. At 12, Max Intelligence, and at 14, Song of Victory. Allows you to add your intelligence mod to damage rolls while blade singing. That's plus 10 per attack, and it's about to go up because we're jumping out of Wizard and into Fighter for 2 levels. Here we can take Dueling for an additional plus 2 to each attack, Second Wind for some more healing, and of course Action Surge at 2 makes you a melee beast. Time check, how'd we do? Okay, well let's go over some spells. Artificer spells, you get 9 of them. Absorb Elements, Cure Wounds, Disguise Self, Fairy Fire, Featherfall, Heroism as an auto prep spell, Longstrider for added mobility, Sanctuary, and Shield as a fantastic auto prep spell. With the Wizard cantrips, Firebolt, Green Flame Blade, Mage Hand, Mending, and Minor Illusion will all serve you well. Shocking Grasp is a good alternative. For the leveled spells, get as many rituals as you can, get scrolls, copy them into your spellbook. You're a wizard, so make good use of them. Must grab spells that we don't get elsewhere from Artificer or feats would be Find Familiar at level 1, at level 2, Dragon's Breath for your familiar, Invisibility for utility, Levitate, Mirror Image, which will be good even in tier 4. Rope Trick can be insanely good with the right tactics. Shadow Blade is the primary source of damage until a fantastic magic weapon comes into your grasp. Tasha's Mind Whip, is it broken? Probably not, but very strong. Vortex Warp, also really great. And Web is maybe the best of the bunch. Level 3, Counterspell, Dispel Magic, Fear, Fireball, Fly, and Summon Fae for some action economy free damage. Level 4, Banishment, Dimension Door, Fire Shield, Polymorph. Level 5, Animate Objects, Bigby's Hand, Steel Wind Strike for the martial flavor, Wall of Force. Level 6, Contingency, Mass Suggestion, Scatter, not Tasha's Otherworldly Guise or Tensor's Transformation, they're traps, don't do it. Level 7, Draconic Transformation for Blind Sight, Flight, and a kick-ass bonus action breath weapon. Force Cage and Simulacrum for all those shenanigans. Obviously you won't be able to prepare all these spells, and the ones you select will change based on level, loot, and situation, but this should be a good non-exhaustive list to choose from. That's the build, the Gish Bladesinger. If you liked the video, please like the video, give a share or subscribe, all the YouTube things. You guys are awesome.
Kick ass!
See you here next time.
5 minute maximum.